What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Today we're going to be going through the best and worst tattoo TikToks I can find. So let's just jump into it.
How would you describe your tattoo collection?
Started when I was 18. As I got older, I decided I wanted to go a different direction, so I'm probably going to end up getting all this covered up and all this covered up. Actually, I have a cover up for this next week.
Why?
You know, this happens a lot. A lot of people start getting tattooed hella young, 18 years old, and then they kind of grow up and they go, don't really love these tattoos. And so they completely change up their style and also have to do like a lot of cover up stuff. There's a buddy of mine, his name's Rick. He had a bunch of garbage everywhere. And over the last few years, we've been blasting over it, tattooing things in between. And his sleeves look super cool now, but it did take a lot of work. You might not like the same stuff later on down the line, and it's gonna cost a lot of money and a little bit of pain to get through that.
Shift into Japanese style.
I love the simplicity and the complexity of it.
But his arms actually look really good for, you know, what he's doing. Cover-ups, blast-overs, making everything look Japanese, everything. I'm not a huge fan of his stuff, but that doesn't really matter because like overall, it's very good, very clean. It's just cool to see someone getting stuff done after the fact. It ends up looking pretty good. Okay, on to the next.
Is this the end for tattooing? It's no secret that right now, the tattoo industry is in a bad state. Artists nationally are struggling to fill their books, and when they do, they're...
Dude, it's a hard time to be a tattooer. I can't even afford sleeves these days, dudes. Now it's hot as shit here. I'm sorry. You're getting tank top Kirk today, but yeah.
littered with last-minute cancellation. But why? Some artists have made videos claiming that it's social media suppression. Some have ranted saying that it's an oversight.
Okay, so there's no doubt that tattooers are struggling currently. A lot of that just has to do with the economy. That's it. And tattooers, because tattooing is a luxury item, feel a recession, feel the effects of a poor economy immediately. So this is a fair warning. If you're out there and you want to get tattooed, now's probably a good time to do it. I'm not telling you you're gonna get a discount. I don't know your tattooers, I don't know who you're going to, and I don't know where they're at. But a lot of people these days are posting availabilities a lot longer than they normally do, myself included. So, is it a good time to get tattooed? Probably. You might get a better deal than you would have a year ago. For sure, a better deal than you would have got 2 years ago.
We have too many tattoo artists and tattoo shops. I don't think it's either. So what can we do?
It is funny how tattooers will point the finger at anything and everything whenever there's like a downturn in the business. And it's like, oh, it's because of scratchers. Oh, it's because of this. Oh, it's because of, bruh. I mean, obviously, if there was less shops, if there was less scratchers, there'd be more tattooing for everyone, probably. Let's assume that that's probably how the world works. But you have no control over that. What you do have control over is your own personal bookings and things. So if you're a tattooer out there and you're like, ooh, times are tough, dude, survive, make shit happen, do tats, do them for whatever price you can. Yeah, it's a hard business, especially if you're a young tattooer, just do tats. That's it. On to the next. Tattoo schools. I don't think I've ever talked about tattoo schools. It blows my mind that there's even topics that I haven't talked about in tattooing, and I don't think I've ever talked about tattoo schools. So let's hear what Homeboy's got to say.
I'm telling everybody I like teaching, and I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, totally.
And even though you're gonna have a lot of people that are not into that, and I respect.
I think I've actually met this guy and met him in Puerto Rico when I was at a tattoo convention, but I think I remember meeting him.
Their view on it, but teaching is something that I would constantly talk to my mentor about. I'd be like, oh, what about opening a tattoo school? That would be so cool. And he'd be like, no, that's not cool. That's actually the worst. You do not want to teach people. It shouldn't be like that. And I would always be like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, you're right. Yeah, teaching is bad. Teaching is bad. But in the back of my mind, I've always been like, hey, man,
yeah,
like, you want to teach people. It's great to teach people. I feel it's a very
Okay, so tattoo schools. There's a lot to talk about here. First off, do I like the idea of tattoo schools? Not particularly. I really believe in a mentor-mentee system, and I think that tattoo schools are probably more scammy than not. I think that it could work potentially. You know, like barbers seem to have a really good system down. Like, you know, you pay a bunch of money, you go to barber school, you come out, you get a job. Things seem to work pretty well. Does that translate into tattooing? I'm not sure. I think about this a lot. I've got an apprentice. I don't think that he would necessarily do very very well in a tattoo school setting. If there were 10 students and he had to be in a course for, I don't know, a few months, he'd probably be one of the worst ones. But in the scenario where he has a mentor who's on top of him every day, and I will be pretty much for the next few years, he's gonna be a lot better tattooer than he would if he would have just spent some time in a tattoo school. I know that might be a bold statement, but I guarantee it. Like, just as someone who's been a mentor, been an apprentice, that system works really well. So how much would you even charge for a tattoo school? Like, realistically, what, $20,000? $40,000? What if it's a 6-month program? That would be an expensive endeavor for whoever was running a tattoo school. Lots of material, lots of time, lots of room for the students. I get a lot of comments when I talk about this subject where people are like, hey, apprentices should get paid to be an apprentice. And I'm always like, okay, then let's start tattoo schools where I get paid to teach them. And are you willing to spend $40,000 for a tattoo school? I don't know. Maybe, who knows? Let's start a tattoo school. I'm accepting you. You got $30,000, I'll take you in. I'll be your teacher, whatever you want to call me.
You want to teach people. It's great to teach people. I feel it's a very fathom mentality in the old school.
But that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, he's saying it is great to teach people. Mentor them. Have an apprentice. It's a good system. It works really well. Builds a lot of great tattooers. I think, if anything, people should be like, tattooers and tattoo shop owners should accept more apprentices. That would be reasonable to me. Anything else other than that, I don't buy. Okay. Australia bans tattoos part 2.
I made this video yesterday about how this dude, Jaden, was refused entry from this venue in Australia because of his cultural neck tattoos, which he was covering them anyways.
Oh, you see the show me your neck? I'll show you.
Okay, first off, I'm not sure if it's Australia or if it's private businesses within Australia. And personally, like, I really think that there's a big difference. Like, if it's a government thing, wow, Australia, you suck. Or at least the people in charge of those counties or states or whatever suck. But if it's a private business thing, I'm like, yeah, I mean, I don't think it's cool for a private business to deny someone because they have tattoos. But I'm also well aware that that's their own business. They should be able to run it how they want. So if they are like, hey, Kirk, you can't come in here because you got those stupid ass tattoos, I'd be like, well, fuck you anyways, you know?
No tattoos? No. Just come here for a drink first. Yeah, no, but obviously your neck must have got no tattoos. Okay, so you just can't come in. Because we need to see if there's anything on your neck if you don't want to.
Now, although that this video received a huge amount of support, there was a lot of hate too. And from what I could see, it was from Australians that still believe this outdated mindset of, if you have tattoos, you are a criminal. And I thought, you know what?
I've heard that, they ban tattoos because of bikies. It's like biker gangs in Australia. Hey, if it's a private business, let the private business do whatever they want and protest the shit out of them. Tell them that they're lame, whatever. Leave bad reviews for the private businesses that don't let people in with tattoos. But if it's a government, if a government is telling you that you can't have tattoos on your face or your hands or your neck, get out of my business, bro. Fuck off. What's going on, guys? We just passed 20,000 subscribers. We're trying to get to 25, so please like and subscribe to this video. We appreciate it so much.
Here at Bali Tattoo, we got a customer who dropped 20K with us. Not any ordinary customer. He's a good friend of mine since...
Okay, a few of you have told me to review Bali Tattoo Canada, and honestly, every time I fucking see these goddamn things, it reminds me of a used car lot salesman guy. Like, walks up, he's like, 20K, like, I don't know, it just seems like a fucking, he's selling me something and it's not a good deal. I don't know, that's just the vibe I get when I first see it.
Here at Bali Tattoo, we got a customer who dropped 20K with us. Not any ordinary customer.
Doesn't it look like he's trying to sell you a shitty Cadillac? Like, just beat down to all shit? I don't know.
He's a good friend of mine since childhood. We grew up together and played soccer together. Our parents brought us to practice in all the games, and then we went to high school together. Now he's here, supporting the boy at the business. He got the full arm sleeve already, chest piece is done, and now he's doing the leg sleeve.
Canadian dollars, that would be a little less in American dollars. It's not 20,000, probably closer to like, I don't know, 15,000, something along those lines. Which for a full leg sleeve is a little steep, but it's not crazy, I think. Like, I mean, I'm not charging that, but if I was a black and gray artist, maybe, I don't know. Maybe that's not even that bad for a traddy sleeve. I don't know. I live in Mexico. Sometimes my prices are a little outdated because I don't go to the States enough, and I live in Mexico where prices are different. Look, when I first got into tattooing, no one talked about money. And you do not openly talk about money on the internet. And that is because of some reasons that any normal person could put together. If you're struggling to figure it out, I'm sure someone will leave in the comments why we don't talk about money. At least like putting exact numbers onto things. So it is like almost jarring for me when I see these types of things. But some of that's outdated, you know? Some of my own personal beliefs around this type of stuff is outdated. But it is fucking weird sometimes to me to be like, this is how much this costs. Like, it's almost like a sales tactic. Look how expensive this is. This is because it's that valuable. Like, instead of just being like, look at this fucking super sweet leg sleeve. Let the work sell itself. Instead, they put numbers on it so that they can charge you that same amount. And they're like, see, look, this is how much it costs. I don't know. It's a sales tactic. A beautiful sleeve. Like, I'm not surprised that it costs like 20,000 Canadian. Very nice. I'm always curious when we see these big fields of black and gray, how smooth it actually looks like in real life, just because I know that's a hard thing to pull off. I'm sure the whole leg looks great, but they're definitely using a very nice camera and very nice lighting and a very nice background. So I always, when I see these types of sleeves, want to see them in person. But super nice, well put together, interesting enough. So yeah, hey, that's what a $20,000 sleeve costs you. Canadian, don't forget, in American, that's less. Money and tattoos, it's a weird thing.
Do you know why tattoos are so dark when fresh? Let me explain the process. An experienced tattoo artist who creates long-lasting, high-contrast tattoos knows they need to tattoo darker than the actual reference. The darkness you see is the excess ink mixed with blood. When tattoos heal, they lose 20–30% of the pigment.
Yep, that's pretty much spot on. Usually when I'm doing a black and gray traditional tat, it usually looks super dark and super heavy. And I always have to be like, just so you know, it's gonna lighten up over time. I didn't use that dark of colors, but like that's how a tattoo looks fresh versus healed. That heavy black saturation look goes away pretty quickly. So yeah.
So if you want a tattoo with this level of contrast, you need a dark result like this image. So when it heals, it retains that look. But what happens if the tattoo looks light when fresh?
If it's light when fresh, it's gonna fall away too. You know, like that's the thing. You gotta be very careful when you're picking black and gray artists. That's a hard thing to do. There's a lot of times I see tattooers who tattoo way too light, and I'm like, that tattoo fell apart. You can't see any of it. You can't see any depth. I believe tattooers should use black at least a little bit in their tattoos, and a lot of times I see black and gray people who don't use any black at all, and I'm always like, that's a crumbly looking tattoo. Especially as time moves on, like you just lose a lot of it. And if that person's tan or a little darker, that stuff goes away.
The same 20–30% of the pigment will be lost, and your tattoo will end up looking like this.
Yeah, super faded.
Tattoo artists always make tattoos darker than...
They don't always, honestly. I know a lot of tattooers who do not make things dark, and when they heal, look light. And they say that's how they want it to, which I'm always like, why do you want to watch that looking tattoo? Okay, on to the next.
So today I tattooed a Grim Reaper on my customer's hand, and then we did some brutal letters.
First off, this dude's aesthetic, the way he's got his tattoos on his neck, fucking cool, dude. I like the crown of thorns, like really into that look. Yeah, rock solid.
Down the fingers, let me know if you can read what it says on the fingers. Hopefully not, because that is the vibe we're going for.
So, you know me, I like talking about that fucking cyber sigilism, and homeboy does some tattoos on the knuckles that he's like, I don't want you to be able to read it. And I go, I like that. I'm okay with that.
Free-handed on the fingers, stenciled on the top of the hand, made them all link in as one, and we're both stoked of how this one turned out.
As long as you're like approaching it like that, like, you know, I'm into death metal. Not really. No, your boy's lame. I like Incubus. No, I'm just kidding. But I like death metal lettering. It's cool, it's interesting. And if you don't want people to be able to read it, I can get down.
Gas to do the other side. I'm going to show you the whole process here. Let me know what you think.
Let's see them. I cannot fucking read those letters. Nope, I can't read any of them. Cool Grim Reaper though, for sure. So I don't know, what do you guys think? Letters that you're not supposed to read? What do you guys think about it? Because I like the final result, but I'm not in any rush to get it, and I don't think that it's made for, you know, very many people. And as long as the execution on the tattoo is solid, which it looks like it was, I could get down with it, dude. I'm cool enough, I'm hip enough that some cyber symbolism fucking letters is cool. I get it. Sometimes I don't get it. I don't get it most of the time. Most of the time I'm like, fucking hate that. But here we go. The reality is he put it next to like a traditional Reaper, traditional-ish Reaper, so I'm gonna be more likely to say that I like it even when I'm not, you know, 100% certain. Okay, on to the next. Okay, this guy fucking cracks me up. First off, he's a great tattooer, but if I have to see him look at a camera like this one more fucking time, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind, dude. Hate it. He's like the one-hit wonder of fucking TikToks. It drives me crazy. No matter what, I'm gonna see this dude being like, every time. Every time I go looking for bullshit to talk with you guys about, I see this jabrones. But he's a great tattooer. Yeah, obviously. What he asked for. First off, I don't think anyone's asking this guy for this. I'd be fucking blown away if someone came to this guy and was like, this is what I want. This traditional Reaper that looks like dog shit. Look how cool that is. Super nice. I know a lot of you guys don't like this guy for other reasons that you guys know and I'm not really that interested in bringing up, but I think he's a very good tattooer and I find his stuff interesting. Sometimes I do think that maybe like if you really dissected that face and the skeleton, how well is that detail gonna last? And is it actually like as good? Like those teeth are like, you know, right in there, tiny, tiny, tiny. Is that gonna look good forever? No. Is it gonna look good in a month? I don't know. I think he's a good enough tattooer that he knows, but I'm also like, that's a lot of black surrounding these tiny little teeth. And doesn't really matter, because like the overall image is really cool. But yeah, he's a great tattooer for sure, at least technically sound. It's definitely better than what he asked for, but that's not saying much. But yeah, if I had to see him do that fucking thing one more time.
Got tattoo.
This fool made me laugh, dude. I just like it.
Got tattoos that pulls, no bitches. Niggas with these tattoos missing every shot they shoot, bro. They on some Kwame Brown shit. You know in the comment section if you have any of these tattoos. Now let's do it. You have to get this out the way. Neck tattoos used to be a woman magnet, but y'all niggas took it too far, bro. My homie got limitless range neck. He a part of the other community now. This is some shit that no man should ever have.
He's part of the community that pulls no bitches. Honestly, shit ass tattoo. Yeah, I'm not surprised. You're staying a virgin forever with that on your neck. Yeah, sack chaser on the neck, dude. You know, I know it's supposed to be money sacks, but that's not how anyone else sees it because it just seems like he's gobbling on balls. He's a real sack chaser, you know?
Bro, and the females are catching on. If you have a neck tattoo watching this video, I pray for you, homie. Times is getting rough. Sack chaser. Boy, what? You have anyone who have an animal as a tattoo, specifically a lion. What you got a lion for, nigga? Let me guess, you a Leo? Get your corny ass the fuck up out of here. Ladies, let me know in the comments.
I know a lot of you guys like that fucking Vertigo Leo stuffs. Yeah, the lion. Unless it's a really dumb traditional lion, I hate it. I hate it. They're hard to tattoo, impossible to tattoo. They never look that cool. The hair, every single time I think about the hair, it drives me crazy. If you ask me to do a lion, it's like letters. I'm not doing it.
Arm, buddy. Be different. Bro's tattooing the hand, very burnt out. I feel like we should just leave this to the woman.
That's the only one I disagree with him. Obviously, I like roses, dude. You should put a big rose on your hand. You're probably gonna get laid. I don't know that for sure. You might suck anyways and not get laid. But if you got a rose on your hand, maybe it opens up the shot. But also, women should get roses on their hands too. I think they're cool. I think that tattoo that he is pointing out right now, that is well executed. I would never put white on darker skin, but that's neither here nor there. They use a really tight line for that, so it's not that big of a deal, but very nice.
What type of freaky deaky ass nigga get a kiss tattoo on their neck, bro?
Yeah, dude, don't get a fucking lipstick tattoo on your neck or anywhere, ever.
Nigga, really? A clock? Let me guess, is no time better than now? Come on, my nigga, this is automatic.
No, most people do their birth hour, which I think is even cornier, my guys. Don't put clocks with your birth hour. Okay, some blackout stuff. First off, I don't think that both machines are actually working. Yeah, that looks like it's an almost healed tattoo. I think that was a gimmick, obviously. Just running needles over it. I don't think that was real. But sometimes these Blackout guys be selling some machines that I'm like, how do you use that, dude? That is so big, so gnarly, so impractical. In case you guys don't know, I've done a couple Blackouts. Here's a knee I did. That's one pass, knee banger. You know what needle size I used for that? Not a 508, not a 110, not a 98. Nope, I used, I should have thought about this before. A 25, something like that. I might have even used like a 13, but it got the fucking job done. Took a long time, but it was one and done. Game over. And that's a fucking knee. Knees almost never get done in one shot. Inexperienced with Blackouts, I've done a handful of them, but when I see like this type of stuff, I'm like, either these people really understand the techniques of putting in a Blackout, which a lot of them do, or it's overkill. It's just not that useful. But I don't know. You guys let me know. Have you done a Blackout? Tell me about your experiences doing Blackouts. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, let's end it with a good one.
Hello mọi người, hôm nay mình có hẹn với em trai 2K2 lần đầu đi xăm, muốn xăm kín hết cả cánh tay bên trái theo thể loại phong cách xăm hình học geometric. Em trai nhà
Aesthetically, I don't love geometric. But watching it get done and watching people do cool shit with it, it's fucking rad. Like, I get down with it.
ở Cam Ranh Nha Trang khá xa chỗ mình, được cả gia đình ủng hộ cho phép đi xăm nên em trai quyết định xăm kín hết.
And it makes me so excited that in the world of tattooing, there are people doing all sorts of cool things all over the world. Sometimes I think you guys think I'm a little jaded when it comes to tattoos, but honestly, like, there's just topics that are fun to talk about, and there's topics that are not that fun to talk about. But I do want to point out every once in a while when I just see something that's fucking cool. Also, when it's being done halfway around the world. Like, that's rad. Because tattoos are taking over, and hear me out. My Latin American friends, some of the best tattooers are probably gonna be coming out of South America in the next, 10, 15 years. They're crushing it. And apparently probably in like Thailand and Vietnam and different places like that too. So yeah, just watch and let's end it right here. I appreciate you guys. You guys have a beautiful day. I'll see you in a few.